Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. And boxing, we make this bigger, man. Right? Because, man, I got something to say. Let me just do it like this. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check this out, right? Now, you know, I've always talked about Daniel Kinahan, the Saudis, and trying to understand how boxing has continued, even though, you know, Daniel Kinahan has been in hiding. We have our suspicions about skills challenge promotion, and if Daniel Kinahan had anything to do with influencing skills challenge promotion, mentoring, or if he's the mind behind it, okay? But there's no proof, so we're just having conversations. But, you know, as a result of learning about Kinahan, you know, a while ago, and understanding Kinahan's involvement with Tyson Fury, that made me start to look at the Deontay Wilder fights with Tyson Fury a little differently, right? Because I said, if a guy like Daniel Kinahan, who is known, you know, for his mob ties, also it's facts that he's influenced decisions of some fights and has often used intimidation to get to referees and judges. And what I'm telling you isn't something I'm just conjuring up, okay? This is stuff that's out there. But nonetheless, right, just knowing a guy like Tyson Fury met Kinahan after his depression and Klitschko fight when he had ballooned up to over 400 pounds, and Daniel Kinahan promised him, right? He promised him that these aren't my words. These are the words of Ben Davidson, and Ben Davidson was, remember, he was pretty much, he and Tyson Fury at that point in time had a symbiotic relationship. And the words to Tyson Fury, I will lead you back to being a champion and lead you to unbelievable, unimaginable wealth. Anyway, they described Daniel Kinahan as a godsend to Tyson Fury. So anyway, in the meantime, between time, right? You see, Tyson Fury went on, he fought Wilder the first time. And, you know, some people felt Fury should have won that fight. I will say Fury was giving Deontay Wilder business. But, you know, over 12 rounds, Deontay Wilder happened to drop him twice. And you figure over another 10 rounds, you got to give Wilder, you know, a couple of those, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy to argue a draw, easy to argue that Wilder won. Depending on how you score it, you could say, hey, outside of those 2 rounds, Fury beat Wilder every round, you know what I'm saying? And some people say even in the round where he got tranquilized, Fury got up and fought hard, so that should be an even round. But it's subjective. I'm not here to argue that. What I'm here to say is, makes you wonder about some things knowing that you got this guy Kinahan who was involved with Tyson Fury's fights, right? And how they had that long count at the end, you know, and the referee Reese getting down on his knees. I thought he was going to tongue kiss Tyson Fury. 1, 2, screaming in his face and woke his ass up, right? Anyway, once I learned about Kinahan and this crap, I said, all right, there's got to be something funky going on. But that fight, I didn't really think much of it, you know. Then the second fight happened, you know, all the thing about the glove scandal and all that, you know. I said, hey, anything can happen in boxing. But remember, I didn't learn about this Kinahan guy after like the 3rd fight. That's when I started to learn about him. So the first fight, I really didn't think much. But once I understood the Kinahan thing, when I went back and watched the first fight, I said, I see how someone could think there's corruption. Second fight, remember, I didn't learn about this Kinahan guy after the 3rd fight. But after learning about him, I went back and rewatched the second fight. And the whole thing about gloves and stuff, you know, I do believe if you have something like that in your corner, and the corruption in boxing and can influence people, there is the possibility that there could have been some foul play, right? Right? That's all I'm saying. And that's what I believed. Then you have the 3rd fight, which it was like rock'em sock'em robots, right? Then you find out in the 3rd fight, right? Remember, I didn't find out about Kinahan until after that. And I'm watching the 3rd fight. And I'm like, okay, it looks to me like Tyson Fury just got the best of Deontay Wilder. Yeah, Tyson Fury fights dirty, but He just looked at me like, hey, he was just the better man. A little bit of a slow count, but in one of those knockdowns. But long story short, I just had it that Tyson Fury beat him in the third fight. But then, in addition to knowing about Kinahan, after the third fight, I learned about Tyson Fury was using this guy, Usman Sajjad. I'm like, what the hell? And I didn't know much about Usman Sajjad. I learned about Usman Sajjad because he was a guy who was there hooked up with Conor Ben with the clomiphene and all the bull crap, right? Dr. Usman Sajjad. And I still said, well, damn, that's interesting. But I didn't think nothing of it until Usman Sajjad went and put that post out on social media in a nutshell saying athletes would have to be stupid to get caught using pads because it's so easy to beat the system. And I'm paraphrasing now. Talking about he knows like 90-something% of elite boxers, especially on the European level, they all use it. They all dope. Some of the biggest names, he knows for a fact they do it. He says, and it's so easy to get around VADA and UCAD and just, bottom line, the whole World Anti-Doping Agency, all of those agencies. So easy to get around them because you know when they're coming, you know how long certain substances stay in your system, so you know how you can cycle it to make sure when they do give you your analysis that stuff is out your system. And when he said that, I said, that's scary. And to find out that Tyson Fury had been using that guy, preparing for those Wilder fights, a couple of those Wilder fights, I said, all right, now they got my attention. Something's not right here. So I've been running with that. I'm like, hey, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, the reason I'm doing this video, because I got to be fair. All this shit about Kinahan, all this stuff about the gloves, all this stuff about the Irish mob, about corruption in boxing. Deontay Wilder got robbed. He was cheated, right? All of this Kinahan, Fury, Kinahan, Usman Sajjad, Kinahan, Fury, Kinahan, right? Saudi Arabia, Kinahan, Saudi Arabia, Tyson Fury, right? All that, right? I'm not making that up. Then the other day I'm sitting there breezing and I come across something that somebody sent to me. Because we be on it, man. And this person was in disbelief as well. So I said, okay, let me see what it is. I'm going to show you what it is. Let me make my little, let me make this smaller, right? So then we find out Shelly Finkle has worked with Daniel Kinahan before. You got to be kidding me, man. All this stuff going on with Deontay Wilder, how he got cheated, Daniel Kinahan influenced the fights, cheating, Tyson Fury, glove scandal, judges, referees, all this stuff, right? We out here feeling bad for Deontay Wilder. They did him dirty. Yeah, Tyson Fury seems to be a better boxer, but there's something fishy was going on. And I still think there's something crazy out there, don't get me wrong, but I think it's even crazier to find out that Hall of Fame boxing manager, Shelly Finkle, had worked with Kinahan before. And you mean to tell me that at some point in time, Finkle didn't have any idea about this guy being involved with Tyson Fury? Let me read this to you. I'm about to kick some knowledge to you now. He said, and this is back in like 2020, I am very excited about Bahrain's interest in developing boxing on an international level. And so long as it's safe to do so, I am very much looking forward to accepting Daniel, MTK Global, and KHK Sports invitation to attend the inaugural Global Leaders Summit in the Kingdom this September. It is truly great to see a leader of His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa. Y'all know who Prince Khalid is, right? He's the CEO of Skills Challenge Promotion. Skills Challenge Promotion just signed Deontay Wilder, right? Remember now, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Daniel Kinahan, a leader like Prince Khalid, paving the way for boxing in the region, and no doubt, with the support of the summit's leaders, it will shape the future of the sport in the Middle East. It's been great working with Daniel thus far, and I look forward to continuing this relationship and know that this summit is a great move for the industry. Right here, this tells you that everything that you know, it tells you enough for you to sit there and draw the conclusion that Daniel Kinahan knew Prince Khalid, right? There's a relationship there, and Daniel Kinahan had a lot to do with developing boxing in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia, and it should give you enough to make you say, you know what? This Skills Challenge Promotion has something to do. Kinahan has something to do with it, because you look at Amir Abdallah and his position, and he and Kinahan are like brothers. So when you look at that, right, you can't make me believe that Shelly Finkle didn't know that Kinahan was involved with Tyson Fury and his team. But I don't care what you say. Now, let's peel the layers back. Y'all remember Daniel Kinahan's the one who came up, and he put the money up for Joshua and Fury. But remember, that fell apart. That fight going to take place in Saudi Arabia. Let me tell y'all, anything going on in Saudi Arabia, you can't make me believe it's not tied to Kinahan. Everything. Even what's going on today. But remember, when Joshua and AJ were going to fight, Joshua and Fury were going to fight, all that money was put up by Kinahan. Supposed to take place in Saudi Arabia. Now we know where the money was coming from. It's coming from Prince Khalid, right? Anyway, Fury and AJ didn't happen. You remember this? No, so that happened. But remember, for the first Wilder and Fury fight, let's go back to that one, right? The first Wilder and Fury fight. You remember they were basically trying to freeze AJ out. Remember that talk? Right? Because Wilder had just gone through the back and forth with AJ, and there was all this money that was being put up. People trying to understand where this money was coming from. Let me tell you, Eddie Hearn had ties with Kinahan. Make sure you understand this. All that money that was being put up, I strongly believe it's always stemmed from Kinahan and the Saudis. I truly believe that. Okay? But long story short, Wilder and AJ back and forth, the zone getting involved. Anyway, couldn't make the numbers work, right? For whatever reason, transparency, whatever. People want to say Wilder was a duck. People want to say AJ was a greedy belly. Doesn't matter. Wilder decided now he's going to fight Tyson Fury. And everyone's wondering, how in the world were they able to come up with this money? Everybody's trying to understand how they come up with this money for Wilder and Fury. And I'm going to tell you right now, I never thought about that until this point. I truly believe Finkle and Frank Warren and Bob Arum all had something to do with Daniel Kinahan for those Wilder fights and all the money that was being put up for Wilder and Fury to get paid. I truly believe that. And for the first fight, for the second fight, and for the third fight. All the money that Wilder made, Fury made, let me tell you something. Those pay-per-views alone didn't get them to this 30, 40 million. It's a lot of money Wilder and Fury made. That's each fight. Okay? They made a lot of money. So when you look at it now and you say, okay, well, why do you think that? I think that because I remember Wilder. Because remember, no one can make sense of why hasn't Wilder sued Tyson Fury. You remember that? Let me expand this now. Remember that? We're all sitting there trying to understand why in the world hasn't Wilder sued Tyson Fury? Like that's what I was trying to understand. If you know this man tried to kill you in the ring, you know, from cheating, egg weights in the gloves, removing padding from the gloves, not having his fingers in the gloves, You know, we know Fury fought dirty. I watched the fight. He was elbowing and all kind of crap. Punching, not even trying to hit him with the fist. He was hitting him with this part of his hand. Fury was doing some shady shit. Like, I watched all 3 fights, especially that second, third fight. Fury's dirty. But at the end, he was hitting him with his elbow. But at the end of the day, right, if Wilder felt that way, we couldn't understand why he didn't sue him. Talking about you got a dent in your skull. And all I remember Wilder saying, because he got pressed a lot because people wanted an answer. And all I remember him saying, and this got my attention, he said, I didn't want to go that route and end up having him get arrested and end up on the chain gang. I wanted to basically take matters into my own hands and try to, like kill him in the ring. He tried to kill me, so now my goal is to kill him in the ring, but do it legally. To not mess my money up. And out of all that, I heard something about money. And I said, Deontay Wilder would let someone come in the ring and get away with, attempted murder, basically. And he's not going to worry about pursuing that because he wants to. If he does that, he knows he won't. He may not make the kind of money that he expects. And it didn't make sense. But when I look at it now, and I may still be wrong, makes me wonder if Deontay Wilder, he knew that Kinahan was the guy involved with the fight. Kinahan put big money in his pocket. And when it comes to that draw and those 2 losses, he's not really worried about it. He sees himself as an undefeated fighter because he chose to go with the flow to make sure that he changed his life in the next few generations of the Wilder family's life forever. Because let me tell you something. If Deontay Wilder did not know anything about Kinahan in those first 3 fights, if you can't tell me Shelly Finkle didn't know, because now we see right here. Let me move my shit out the way. You see, Shelly Finkle knew who the hell Kinahan was, right? So, and Prince Khalid and all that. Get out of here. But you can't tell me now, for him to be in Saudi Arabia, remember he went there with Shelly Finkle. When I saw him go there with Shelly Finkle for the Jake Paul fight and Tommy Fury fight, and Tyson Fury was there, I couldn't understand why Deontay Wilder would go to Saudi Arabia. And then I saw Shelly Finkle, and I said, okay, maybe there is, I always suspected there's something going on with Skills Challenge Promotion, Prince Khalid, Amir Abdallah, and Kinahan. But you don't hear nothing about Kinahan because he's running from the law. When I saw Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkle go out there, I just said, okay, they're out there chasing money. I did not put 2 and 2 together that they already know these guys. And there's a rapport established. Then I get this article that we just read right here. And I'm like, you mean to tell me Shelly Finkle already knew these people? And Deontay Wilder's going out here and okay with working with these people? Knowing that there's some ties to, there at some point was some ties to Kinahan, and Tyson Fury supposedly cheated you because he had people on his side that allowed the corruption and the foolishness to take place in the ring. And you're going to go out there, man, and get in bed with these same people? But when I saw that article just the other day, I said, you know what? I know why he's doing it. And it's my opinion now. Same reason why he had them first 3 fights with Tyson Fury. He's chasing money. He doesn't care. And he understands after this is over, he won't have these opportunities again. So whether Deontay Wilder wins or Deontay Wilder loses, as far as in the ring, he wins in life because he goes out there and makes, 40, 50 million. He's just a country boy from Alabama. Look at what he was doing before he started boxing. Look at his circumstances. What he joined boxing for, to make sure he took care of his, beautiful daughter. Now he has a bunch of beautiful kids, man. He has a beautiful life. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to sit there, man, and do I want to sit here, man, and do the honorable thing and not get involved with these people? But then again, I come out here and I'm fighting and only selling 77,000 on pay-per-view and barely making $6 million, $4 million. I'm coming out here with one fight and making, 60, 70 million, 50, 60, 70 million. Because I'll never have the opportunity. When will I have another opportunity to make this kind of money? I don't know, people, if I would do the honorable thing. I'd probably go out there and get that money too. I'm just being honest with you. But at the same time, it's frustrating to me because I just didn't expect that. And again, I don't know everything. About what's going on out there. We're just having a conversation. But I'm going to tell you this. It blew my mind to find out that damn Shelly Finkle had this rapport established and spoke so highly of Kinahan and everyone involved with boxing in Saudi Arabia. So, that being said, it's crazy. Even let me see if I can pull this up for you. Look at this. Check this out. Who's that? Who's that? It's Roy Jones. The partnership between KHK Sports and MTK Global is great news for boxing and in particular boxers around the world. I know they treat fighters the way fighters deserve to be treated. I'm looking forward to being part of this historic summit, which is going to be a wonderful opportunity for our sport to move forward. I spent a lot of time with my friend, Daniel Kinahan. And what I love about Daniel is that he's more concerned about the boxers than he is about anything else. It's very hard to find people in the business that think like this. Most people in the sport look at boxers like race dogs or race horses, but not Daniel. He treats you like a boxer as a friend, and sometimes even as his own kid. So I think he's a fantastic addition to the team at KHK Sports. Listen to this, people. Pay attention. He says, most people in the sport look at boxers like race dogs or race horses, but not Daniel. He treats you like a boxer or as a friend. And right up here, he says, what I love about Daniel is he's most concerned about the boxer. Now, didn't Deontay Wilder say that when he was in Saudi Arabia? Oh, I love it here. I love it. Beautiful things going on, man. I'm so excited. I can't tell you about it. Oh, man. They love the boxer, man. They treat the boxer as the number one priority. They don't got to talk to no manager. They don't got to talk to no promoter. It's all about the boxer, man. And the thing is, they want to take care of the boxer because they know it's all about the boxer. Hey, that's what Wilder just said. And then you look at what was said here by Roy Jones Jr. More concerned about the boxer than anything else. Treats you like a friend, or even as a child. That being said, we got some work to do. And I'm going to be honest with you. I need to know what's going on. Because when it comes to the secret society is alive, it's kicking, and I'm telling y'all right now, I'm disappointed, very disappointed. And what I learned, knowing Shelly Finkle has had a relationship with these people involved with boxing in Saudi. Very disappointed to know that this fight that happened with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder could have been a matter of them trying to freeze Anthony Joshua out because they had Kinahan. I don't know this. I just believe Kinahan put the money up for that fight. Very disappointed to know that they allowed those 3 fights to happen with this kind of involvement. and that they were spinning a narrative that they believe there was some cheating or foul play. And if there was, the fact that they allowed it because of how much money was on the table. Very disappointed to know that everyone is aware, and I'm talking about from Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Finkle, and Eddie Hearn. They're all aware that Kinahan and the Saudis put up big money, and they chose to work with him because Kinahan was going to fight. Kinahan put up the money for Fury and AJ. But all that fell apart when Deontay Wilder exercised. He went to the arbitration. Anyway, he won it and got the third fight. So that derailed the fight that was going to take place in Saudi. But Kinahan had put that money up. So Eddie Hearn has connections to him as well. So everything you see happening in Saudi Arabia right now has everything to do with what Kinahan started or what he's still doing behind the scenes. But I don't know if he's still involved, right? I just know you read these articles and the summits and stuff that was taking place. Seems to be what's going on right now with Skills Challenge Promotion is the idea of Kinahan. Okay? Now, I'm not making this up. You can read this. Right? These are articles out. There's a bunch of them out there. So, that being said, going forward, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, and when it comes to boxing, and when it comes to Saudi Arabia, I have to wonder what else is going on in the sport of boxing. And this is why I talk about the secret society. Because, and I also say, if only the fly on the wall could talk. Because you don't know, I don't know, none of us content creators know what the hell's going on in boxing. All these guys, these self-proclaimed geniuses, and I'm the best at this. You're not the best at shit, man. Because you don't speak facts, champ. We just come out here and have conversations. But I'm one of the only ones that'll tell you, hey, it's just my opinion, just having a conversation. Because I got enough experience in life to know and been through a whole lot after working 25 years in a career that sometimes what you see with your eyes, right, and you're seeing something happen, isn't really what's going on, even though you're seeing it. Because when you peel the layers back and you understand why a person is doing something, yeah, you're seeing it happen. But you peel the layers back and find out when you get to the root cause of what's behind what's happening, you can't fault that person. Because position power is real. Positional influence is real. And when you have somebody in a power position who abuses their position to influence the outcome of something, they can get people who are desperate or who are vulnerable. They can get them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. But the person who's out there executing and acting out whatever's being programmed and planned and commanded, they're at the root. That's the person, man, that ends up either getting the glory or going down in flames. While these people here, when you get down to the root cause, these people here at that level, that are way behind the scenes, those are the people, man, that are transparent and nobody knows anything about. The problem with this is people have come out and have said enough in the past for us to try to solve the puzzle and say, you know what? You can't tell me that Kinahan doesn't have anything to do with this or some kind of influence or influenced it in some way. Because what's going on right now with Skills Challenge Promotion, Saudi Arabia, and boxing is something that they've been trying to do for a while. Boxing was already going on out there in Saudi, but look at the words, man. Concerned about the boxer, relationship with the boxers. This is stuff we're saying years ago. And then Wilder comes out saying the exact same thing. It should make you stop and think. That's all I'm saying. So for Deontay Wilder, I don't know what to think anymore about this situation. It doesn't mean I don't think that there wasn't some foul play. But again, I feel that when it comes to people who are desperate, who are vulnerable, and you got that person, when you get all the way down, right? You get to the root cause of what's going on, and you see the person who's kind of pulling the strings on things, you'll understand why a person is acting the way they're acting. And it could be why Wilder decided not to sue, or Wilder decided just to fight, because at the end of the day, he wants to make money. He doesn't want to mess it up. So the guy there, when you get to the root cause of it, he's just there chilling and transparent, because he knows that guy there doesn't want to mess up his money. That being said, you leave your opinions below. I don't think I'm looking too deep into this. I think we need to look deep into it, and I think it's good conversation. And I'm going to be honest right now, I'm a little disappointed. But I understand. Because if you say, what would you do, man? Somebody going to give you $40 million, opposed to, marching forward honorably and only making $3-4 million. I'm going to be honest with you. I may have to take it to the stupid and take that $40 million. So Deontay Wilder, do your thing. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. And man, Kinahan, hit me up. I need a little $40 million. I'm in the breeze.